Let's talk about new models for relationship. Clearly, MH370, and in dealing with that, has been unprecedented. Do you think that you're in a better position to offer new knowledge and new innovations because you brought together 26 countries, their military assets, and all for one purpose?
Good question. I think that's something that I'm very, very proud about, no matter what people say. Not many countries can coordinate and get everybody to be forthcoming. I'm lucky because I had to deal with people who are pretty decent. The fact that we are moving to a new phase, looking into deep sea search, and the support to help us in the new phase is again overwhelming because the technology that is available out there is so sophisticated. You can count them in the fingers of one hand, but it's very expensive. So countries in the past were not able to deploy assets, apart from the fantastic aeroplanes and vessels that were deployed at the early phase. They can also contribute.
When you look at it from the outside, this has not only been a tragedy, but to many people, this has been almost a tragedy that's taken on surreal proportions, surreal. From the inside, though, I've heard that it's quite a different story, that people who are providing support in many different areas, that there have been times when they've all broken down at one point, where they've found it so hard to pull it together, even though on the facade everything has looked quite normal.
Yeah.
Has that been the case for you too, and what would you choose to share from that?
I don't think there's a single person in my team on the search in Malaysia anyway, it's huge, has not at one point or other broken down. It's heart-wrenching when you see families, especially when they are there on the TV screen, not knowing their background, not being able to help, being in Beijing, at the early part when we didn't have ways to reach out to them, and we didn't have mechanisms or more ways to give them information. My most difficult part is having to deal with the families. And I'm still dealing with that right now.
By some people now, you're still widely perceived to be very uncaring about the fates of these families. Moving beyond that, though, I happen to know that you went to see the families in private during the first days. You went to their hotel in Kuala Lumpur. With your family, you chose not to bring the media, and that's one of the reasons why people didn't know that you went there. Why did you choose to do that in that way at that time?
Because it's between the families and me. There's a limit that we want to politicize things. There's a limit in which we want to look at ratings. There's a limit in which we want to answer allegations, even though how personal it is towards me, to say that I'm uncaring. The fact is that history, I always say history will always judge us. And if I go on TV hugging and kissing and crying with them, that again is just temporary. And that's not me. People are now becoming to understand who I am.